Ice Trae is reportedly having trouble keeping it cool. All the fans were excited to see the Hawks flying high again, but right now, the team is nosediving into controversy. The recent reports have leaked information that's making us rethink everything we thought we knew about Trae and his team. Maybe all is not well in paradise. Watch this video to find out what happened between him and Coach McMillan and why it's a big deal. First up, you can't see me. Unless you've been living under a rock, you know who Trae Young is and how important he is to the Atlanta Hawks. You also know that he missed their home game against Denver a few days ago. But do you know why? Turns out it's more complicated than we thought. The official reasoning said that he was nursing a shoulder injury, and that's why he couldn't play. Seems fair. He had to concentrate on his health. Nothing wrong with that. While fans were disappointed to not see Young on the court, they wished him a speedy recovery still. After all, he's a crucial part of the team. If the Hawks want to remain at the top of the Eastern Conference, having Trae on the court was essential. But no matter what, health comes first, right? But that concern quickly turned into anger. The Athletic reported that in fact he wasn't at the game because of an argument with Coach McMillan. The article alleged that things are far worse than we imagined in the team, and it's gotten to the point that their star player is choosing to skip games. We told you things were about to get spicy, but before we get into that, let's understand how we got here. We mean just 2 seasons ago, Atlanta was a star of the Eastern Front. What went wrong? Ready? Let's take a quick recap. Next up, we don't talk anymore. Coaches and star players beefing with each other is nothing new. But let's be honest, we expected better from a team with many resources. Like, how hard is it to get together, guys? It's almost as if they are trying not to win. Previously, Young had a strained relationship with Coach Lloyd Pierce. They tried to establish goodwill a few times but failed each time. In the end, Trae just wanted to be rid of him, and other players backed him on that decision. Atlanta was underperforming that entire season, and everyone blamed the poor communication between the coach and his team as the reason. So Trae rallied for him to be fired, and soon enough, he was. The guard even took a shot at him after Team USA lost to Australia. He didn't like the man, and he wanted it to be known. A few months later, McMillan joined the team. He was intent on solving the communication problem, but little did he know, the job was much harder than it seemed. He started out with a simple question: how to use Trae? But the answer was far more complicated than he thought. All the initial goodwill seems to be gone at this point, and his absence at the Nuggets game is further proof that McMillan hasn't solved the divide between coach and Trae. But how can we be sure? Well, the Athletic report and much of the interviews after the match left many clues for us to investigate. Coming up, I must have heard you wrong. Alright, let's talk about that article already. Okay, so the Hawks said that the 24-year-old was not there because of a shoulder injury. Then they had to change their story quickly. Shams Charania and Sam Amick reported that in fact he had left the game because of an argument with the head coach. At the shoot-around on Friday, they had a heated argument that got so bad that Trae decided that he wasn't going to show up to the next game. Oh man, does that sound bad? But was it really that bad that Trae decided to abandon his team? See for yourself. Basically, Nate told him to play at the shoot-around. Trae responded that he was treating his shoulder and that he didn't want to risk making it worse right now. He would wait for it to feel better and choose if he wanted to play later. To this, Nate said that either he should play at the shoot-around right now or he shouldn't bother coming to the game. Wow, that escalated fast. To the start guard, the message was clear. He was going to have to sit this one out. Out of sheer arrogance or genuine miscommunication, he wasn't even in the building when they played against the Nuggets. When the story dropped, McMillan quickly said that this was all a misunderstanding. Well, we can spot a cover-up when we see one. This all points to issues that are at the very core of the team. Also, how it went down. Considering that Trae is an all-star, we'd expect better treatment from the coaching staff, but we guess Nate likes to hardball it. Still, though, it was an injury. Shouldn't that mean that he got some slack? Apparently not. On the other hand, the Hawks won 117-109. AJ Griffin, Ice Trae's replacement, scored 24 points and 3 steals. Not bad for a rookie at all.
Then Griffin drives and makes the floater. He had 24 points and 3 steals. Atlanta up by 9.
Still, this win was too close for comfort. Inning without the star is a pretty big blow to his image though, not gonna lie. And at the moment, not everyone seems to be on his side. Shams and Sam also went on a podcast to explain that most players are on Nate's side. For them, Trae let power get to his head. He has a little too much juice in the franchise, and he lets that get to his head. It was bad, but it was nothing toxic or unresolvable. Unlike Lloyd, the team isn't behind him on this one. The blow-up was about a lot of bigger issues though. Weeks of small confrontations led to this point, but there's no other veteran to keep him calm in the locker room. He gets unchecked power because he led the team to the Eastern Finals. Also, he has a great relationship with the owner of the team and his son, so he's practically untouchable. That explains why he thought he could abandon his team with little to no consequence. Not to mention, he can't get away with this. While the 24-year-old truly believes that Atlanta is his kingdom, others don't agree. Current and ex-teammates are clearly not happy with his behavior, and they're letting the public know. After the match, DeJounte Murray gave an interesting interview. While he shot no daggers at his fellow Hawk directly, there were lots of sly comments slid in. He said that he needed everyone at the game, especially everyone who wasn't playing. They needed to be there to take the team to the next level. That sounds sus to us. Then he went on to say that you have to trust your teammates. Everyone is hungry to get a chance. Everyone is working hard. But the main thing is to trust your team to have your back. To earn his trust, you have to work on yourself to gain Murray's trust. Now, who was he talking to? And who did he mean when he talked about players that aren't there? Our mind only goes to the one-star guard. Let's be real.
But, the right idea. Trae Young comes off this pick and roll here. Easy.
On top of that, Chandler Parsons is also not on his side. The former teammate said that while he doesn't agree with Nate's behavior, Trae shouldn't have done that. The ultimatum was understandably bad. His injury must have also been bad, but still, he had to be the bigger person. He had to be mature and show up for the sake of his teammates. Parsons also believes that he has too much power in Atlanta and maybe not the best thing. Yikes! Looks like none of your teammates has your back, Trae. But can you blame him? Lastly, what's next? Alright now, what? How do they move forward from something like this? Well, they need to address the situation first. McMillan chose to deny the whole thing. He said he never told any player to not come to the game. He said that it really was just miscommunication that caused this issue. But Trae has some other things to say. In an interview, he was asked about his absence, and he tried to avoid the question. He kept going on about how it was all a private matter. This should have never been made public, and he was pretty pissed about it. He said that people on the outside didn't know the full story, and they just kept making assumptions. In short, there's more to the story than we know. But he isn't willing to share it though. What a party pooper. For now, he's back at practice. He tweeted lyrics from Drake's song Do Not Disturb, and that was that. For now, he's still the star of the team. Whether they'll resolve their issues though, we'll have to wait and see. But don't worry about Nate, he'll be okay. After Young got Pierce fired, it's safe to assume that he's after McMillan too, but he's got all his bases covered. He signed a 4-year contract as head coach, and that isn't going anywhere. Sources also say that the Hawks executives have heard all sides of the story and his job is safe. As for whether they can learn to work together, well, let's see how the season plays out, shall we? That's it for today's video. Whose side are you on, Young or McMillan? Let us know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back soon with another video.